solid wood. That's
Thanks,
what I'm
man.
saying.
It is good.
Mine's got a bow in the middle.
Because there's
But
too much weight.
Yours is like rigid, like straight shot.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 84 of Read This Way. I'm just flexing my stash.
You're showing your wood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still need to fix up those two shelvings. That's all so I've got them separated by size and alphabetized.
Alphabetized?
Yeah.
I should probably do that. I'm constantly looking for stuff and I can't find it. But it doesn't help that it's separated into 4 different sections, scattered around my property, not just around my house, but around my property.
You
got more over there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the problem. This is the habit we have. It's the issue, the ongoing issue we have as we continue to purchase more paper. Yeah. Excuse me, what did you say?
Too many.
Nah. There's no such thing.
Not enough space.
No such thing. Yes, that's better. Not enough space. Never too many books.
How you doing, man?
Hey, man. I'm doing okay. Nice. Been eating good this week. We've had some good chapters this week.
We have some really good episodes of stuff too. Did you get around to watching that ReZero? You didn't, did you?
Which episode are we up to?
The new one.
Is it on 12? It's on 12? I'm going to say 12.
12 or 13.
Because I reckon, it's been a couple of weeks since I watched it. I got up to that episode 10 that looked really awesome.
Okay, then it's the one after the one that was like everyone was hyping. The one that took like a year and a half. I think it was the one after that.
Yeah. It's a damn good looking show, though. Damn good looking show.
So this was the episode that had very Western sounding name. I can't remember who it was. We spoke about it last week. They worked on it, and I can see why everyone was hyped, because good God, it's not the whole episode like the previous one, but it certainly slaps very hard in certain certain parts.
That's what we want, slappy parts.
I don't know. Hang on. Yeah, no, it's episode 13.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought
they've got it listed as 63.
Yeah, because it's 63 in the series. Yeah.
But no, it was really cool.
I'll get right onto that.
Really nice stuff.
Got to do some catching up. I've been waist deep in Castlevania. Is what I've been doing. Oddly obsessed with it. I didn't think I would be, but it's kind of gripped me and pulled me along. I was quite surprised. Oh yeah,
it seems to be very mixed reviews. Either you love it or you hate it.
That's fascinating because I can't. It's a fairly full throttle show, but it does have
a American animation. It looks incredible and looks very anime.
Well, I don't think it's an American studio producing it.
So
it's written by Americans.
Or is it? It's American written and then Korean.
Yeah, I believe it's a Korean studio that's taking care of it. Because there's no. I'll be honest. There's looking at the action scenes in it. Look, Americans do some good stuff, but they don't do that.
It's got its moments from what I've seen.
The movement of his flail that he uses is insane, and some of the acrobatic work that they animate with that is fantastic. I have a feeling that it's Studio Mir.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm going to look that up while you say something else.
Sorry. Well, no, that's a good segue because they're actually the same studio that's doing the Devil May Cry anime that's coming out soon.
That we just had a new trailer for.
The one that uses
I just sent it to you, man.
It's so like they came out at the same around the same year, but it just seems weird to be in 2025.
Seems like it seems like an unusual mash.
Like it does kind of fit, but it's still really weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I'm on the fence about it, because I grew up with Devil May Cry, the original anime, and the first 3 shitty games.
No.
Well, okay, no, it's the
first one was really good.
Pretty bad.
No, the first game.
When was the last time you played it?
When it came out, man, and it was a fantastic memory. Leave it alone.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well. It's still
none
not
of the
bad,
games from then aged well.
Good lord, it is. Yeah.
It's just a
also
button
the
masher.
weird thing.
It's good fun button masher.
Yeah, it's funny though because like Bayonetta, like what I would consider one of the best in that genre.
Yeah.
Was heavily influenced by Devil May Cry.
Same studios, it's Capcom.
No, it's Platinum.
Oh, is it? Why does it feel like a Capcom game then?
Because it's essentially a spiritual successor to Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
So Devil May Cry is Team Little Devils, and Bayonetta is Team Little Angels.
Okay.
They're also ex-Capcom staff that work.
So that explains a bit more. Yeah.
I think they might have worked on Devil May Cry.
So these are the guys most likely from like Clover.
Yeah. It's ex-Clover staff members. So you've got like Beautiful Joe and all of that.
Yeah.
Have I let Kamui's influence dictate how I feel about the new upcoming series? Only a little bit, and it's growing on me. But because he's not happy, but he doesn't get a say in anything anymore because he sold those rights.
No. And look, it's become something more than him now. So he created something. And when was the last time he was on a creative team with it is the next question. Did he do all the games?
20 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So it hasn't been his thing for a long time. And I think it's as a lot of properties and IPs do, they tend to continue to grow and change over the years, and they remove themselves from the original creators. I mean, Ninja Turtles are no different. They were the exact same scenario. They moved away from the creators so much that the property was no longer representation of what the original artwork was. So it would be no different in this situation.
Which, I mean, from the trailers that we've gotten in the opening, it looks to be pretty faithful in tone and vibe and style. But yeah, you're right. Even from game 1 to game 3, it's still got the same vibe and soul, but they're very different games. And then you go into like the next gen where it's like Devil May Cry 4, DMC 5 and 6. They're all radically different games as well. Especially DMC, the reboot, which not a lot of people liked because it was very radically different, but it still had like a lot of the punk soul. That was the Team Ninja game. But it was definitely more punk than like Devil May Cry's quite rock.
It is. It's definitely got a rock vibe to it.
And it feels weird comparing it to music, but
it's the easiest way to describe it, the differences between them. Because you're wrong. You're not wrong. Where the DMC felt more, trying to push
Punk
against the
alternative.
grain, trying to
Yeah.
be something they're not. It pushes a little bit more against that grain, whereas I think the original Devil May Cry pushed very heavily into a much darker, edgier.
Yeah, I think the
kind of
big
level.
difference is the flavor of edge that the two
Yeah.
games have.
Yeah.
I love both. Mainly DMC. I love it. It took me a lot to get into it, but once I
DMC's got a lot
into
more
it,
tongue in cheek. It's got a lot more humor in it than the original.
well, no, because the original's still pretty tongue in cheek.
Yeah, but it still takes itself relatively seriously. Man, I need to have a playthrough. I'm cracking out the old PS2 disc, and I'm having to go through that.
We've gotten so off topic, but just before we finish off the DMC chat, the weirdest part about the anime is that Johnny Young Bosch is voicing Dante, and the weird part about that is in DMC 4 onwards, Johnny Young Bosch voices Nero and not Dante, so it's fucking weird.
It's gonna sound weird. Okay, what was? I wonder what the choice was there.
Well, he's an anime voice actor as well, and a pretty big name. Like he was Lelouch, so
yeah.
I say that, but that's like a 20-year-old show.
Yeah. So he's used to playing whingy, whiny kids. Okay.
How dare you?
Woe is me, I'm rich and powerful.
Yeah, but he has a disabled sister, and his daddy doesn't like him much.
Well, no, he loves him. Thinks he's awesome.
It's more recent.
Yeah. It was one of those beat you down to make you stronger kind of scenarios.
Sure, it was.
Yeah. The way abusive fathers trying to try and make themselves relevant in the lifestyle. Okay, so it was Frederator that did Castlevania. Sorry.
Oh, cool. No, that's cool.
Why I jumped in and watched it, because I couldn't piece together that jump from Adventure Time to Castlevania. Like I couldn't piece that together. And look, they're a studio. They've done a bunch of different stuff after looking into it. They've done a ton of stuff after Adventure Time. Which
Were they
is
the same ones that did Avatar, or is that a different studio?
No, that's Mir. So Avatar was done by Mir. So they're the ones who are doing the new. Yeah, that's what got us sidetracked. So yes, but I looked the.
That's cool. I wanted to talk about DMC anyway.
Yeah, so the new trailer's looking good. The action's looking fresh, and I am liking the camera work. And when I say that, I mean that in the sense that it's relatively still and not spinning. The sudden influx of Michael Bay style camera work in anime has been very, very frustrating, and I hate it.
It's not done like the traditional way that Fully Cooley did it. It's doing it using CGI.
Sometimes, but not always.
No.
A lot of the time they're using CGI, but not always. So they're still doing it by hand on occasion, but it's a rare occasion. And I think they're using the CGI for the camera movement to put them in the space they're in. So they'll use CGI for the background and all that sort of stuff. Whereas Fully Cooley would have been CGI. Okay, so Fully Cooley is technically CGI because it's computer assisted drawing stuff. So that was all digital work on some level.
Yeah.
but not to the
But
extent.
done well.
Oh yeah, well, Trigger has always done 3D in their anime.
Well, that was Gainax,
completely invisibly. No, it wasn't. Let's face it. That basically that entire team was Trigger. Because they shifted after that, did they not? As soon as they'd done Fulukuli, they're like, "Oh, we had enough of this shit. Let's leave it. That's leaving a sinking boat." They ran. So it's nice. Yeah, it's just refreshing to see some actual like action that's not spinning and making me sick and constantly flashing. Like the amount of epilepsy warnings in anime.
Taking shots
at everything that's floating around at the moment. Like almost everything is rotating. But yes,
specifically the Momentary Lily.
That's one. That's one of many.
I know. I just thought specifically we're taking shots at that.
They, they all spin around because they think it looks cool.
Sometimes it does.
That's
in moderation.
In very, very moderate use.
But once or twice per series.
Every time they do it
per
in
season.
A fight. Yeah. But yes, Momentary Lily does like to spin around awfully.
A lot. Am I good to jump into news, or you got something else to say?
No.
Please, I've got nothing left.
Come on, man. Give it news before I start rambling about something else.
So we've got a few anime announcements, a few manga finishing, both actually I think it's mainly just plus titles. Anyway, we'll get to that. So Black Torch has got an anime coming out soon. I don't think we've got we don't have a date for this one yet, but it could be April like everything else seems to be, which is when Devil May Cry is coming in.
Man, there's a lot of stuff dropping in April.
We are going to be eating very well in April.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a show that's going to be bad at this rate.
Well, Vigilantes is airing in April as well.
Black Torch. I
haven't read any of it, but I've seen it at work.
I've read the first few chapters of it. It was edgy. It's probably the easiest way to describe it. It honestly didn't grab me in those first few chapters, which is probably why I didn't continue reading it.
All right. What do you remember about it?
Very, very little. Like it was a long time ago that I read it.
Oh, interesting. So this was actually originally a Jump Square title that's been that moved to Jump Plus, but then wrapped up July 2018, and it's getting an anime now.
Like I said, it was.
Wait, is this a little ways back? Is this the one that everyone's been talking about? A cancelled manga's getting an anime.
Oh, I would say that yes, that this would be it.
I've forgotten to look into that.
Can't imagine, which means that they're looking for new things instead of relying on isekai and light novels to source material from. And clearly Black Torch had something. It inspired someone enough to create something, which is I find interesting, because if this, if the popularity of this sparks enough, they'll probably get the mangaka back in to either write or produce some more material for it. Who knows?
So this could be a long shot. It's in a similar sort of vein as like cancelled series or finished series getting stuff well after their their time in the light, I guess.
It's holding out hope. It's holding out hope for you, isn't it? Like this is
No,
this
it's
is an
not. I'm not
indication
going
to
to talking
you.
about Siren.
I thought that's where you were heading, man. I just assumed that's where you were going. Now that you mention it.
No. So in my quick look to find out if it was the one that the cancelled manga that gets an anime, it was. It only got announced yesterday, and key visual dropped today. But okay. The thing that I'm kind of hoping for is related to Ishida, and get this, right? Tokyo Ghoul is having a collaboration with Dead by Daylight.
I know. I know. I heard that this
so
morning.
I'm whiffing the copium, hoping that we get a like Tokyo Ghoul Brotherhood, because good lord, it needs it.
Yeah, look, it does. It does, and we just need something back. We need something. I know April's not far away, and we're going to get a ton of really good stuff coming in. But the gap between good and bad is starting to get bigger and bigger, where, you know, we're eating really good for a month, and then it feels like 6 months before we get something good again. And we just have to make do and be happy with what gets produced in between, which, you know, coming from
we've got some good
coming
stuff
from the good old days, my friend, we had to wait like a year before things came out in between.
And that's even if you knew about it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You might end up discovering something years later, even, which is that was always a bit of fun when you found a follow-up to a series that you really, really loved actually happened. Unless it's Fooly Cooly. They should never have done a follow-up for that.
Still haven't actually gotten around
to it. No, just don't. Just don't. Don't do
it. Just jumping back to Black Torch. So you don't remember much about it? Cool. Fun fact.
No.
The mangaka went on after Black Torch to do Heart Gear.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, upgraded freaking artwork.
Post-apocalyptic series on Jump Plots. Talk about that in a sec. But I'll quickly summarize the plot. It seems, because I haven't read it either, I'm just on Wiki, so don't blame me. Main character, teenage punk, trained in the art of ninjutsu. He's Dr. Dolittle. He can talk to animals. Despite this, he was constantly bullied as a child for talking to said animals, and could only find solace with his dog. He then gets led into the woods by some birds and encounters a gravely injured cat, which he nurses back to health. And then, oh, cool. The cat's an immortal or evil spirit, and then they start fighting evil spirits, I think.
Cool. That's probably why I dropped this. It's I mean, unless it's got something like really interesting behind it, like
I mean, it's only 5 tankobons, so it's a relatively short series. And it does seem like it was according to what it says here, it was completed.
Yeah, I was about to say that's enough to do a solid arc.
So I don't know if it actually got cancelled or if this is just like the internet talking out of their butt. Yeah.
Tongue 6 chapters, isn't it?
Roughly.
Yeah.
I'm quickly jumping on to see how many chapters it is, but my internet's a bit icky when I'm streaming. Part Gear was really cool. I quite enjoyed what I read. It went on hiatus for a bit, and then came back, but I think it's finished now.
It didn't get cancelled.
Maybe.
I feel like it did.
It was 52 chapters. Wow. Okay. Black Torch only has 19.
Oh, what? 19 chapters? They must be big 20. Chapters.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you got chapter 1. It's pretty chunky, boy. Always. Yeah, they were 50-page chapters.
Yeah.
I just jumped into chapter 3. It's a 50-page decent one. I mean, the art's still quite nice.
Did you say Jump Square?
Yeah, that's their quarterly magazine. Like the one
pages.
That, like
50 pages in 3 months. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little bit more forgiving than the weekly route. Okay.
Yeah, Haki was the post-apocalyptic series based on a girl who was the last human, and everyone else was like androids or something. I think that was the.
I don't think she was the last human.
Well, that was the thing. She was like, she believed that she was the last human, and at the beginning, she was being looked after by a robot.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
It's looks gorgeous. It's actually it's got some cool action, but it's really slow in between.
Yeah, I like remember it having slow. Like some really. Wait, I just got rid of it. Art gear.
Yeah. I just remember it being a really beautiful looking series. Like the artwork in it was just
it was
flawless. It's really, really nice.
Wow, that opened up in really low res.
That's right. Most people can't.
But yeah, if you want to have a quick look, we'll see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really cute little series from what I got to read. I haven't gone back and finished it yet because of the hiatuses, but I should go back and do that now that it's I think finished up. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looking good.
Vigilantes.
Illegals is another way.
Cool. So Jack was saying that she was the last human on Earth. She was the key to bringing them back. Hey, man.
Hey, Jack.
Slow at the start, but picks up from memory. Yeah, that's roughly what I remember.
Yeah, it's sort of. I remember it sort of
maybe
doing this quite a bit. So it would pick up and then slow down a bit and then pick up. Kind of like a stretched out version of Kagurabachi.
I'm all caught up now, by the way.
Oh yeah, you did. You sent me a picture of some of the later stuff. It's floating around. Yeah,
so nice.
We'll talk about that. In a minute. But yes, what's okay? So what's with the titling? We call it Vigilantes. What's the official
illegals?
This is the thing I see quite often. The term illegals referred to in the title, and I'm just wondering whether that's the actual
My Hero Academia Trump.
They are technically illegals. They're not. They're vigilante. What we have a word for it, right? So vigilante. We have the word vigilantes.
Yeah.
Do they have that word over there, and does it translate to the same? So the original Japanese translation will probably be very different to the word Japanese, to the word vigilantes. But I don't care.
They could totally do it in katakana.
Yeah, they probably
Okay,
could.
so the Japanese. Oh, go away. I'm trying to open it up in like a full screen. What did I do? God damn it.
No, it's a random question. Looking at
There
this
we
key
go.
visual though,
So
man.
that's the cover, the Japanese cover.
Yep. Of the very
So
first.
both?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Why not?
Yeah, so it's illegals, Vigilante, Boku no Hero Academia. So they cut out all the fluff for the English and just went
Vigilante.
vigilantes.
Yeah. Which means the same thing.
I
And
really digged vigilantes. I can't wait. April 7th?
I feel like
April 4th.
I'm going to enjoy this a lot more than I enjoyed My Hero because it's so much more condensed. Things.
It's also a little. It leans more into the seinen. Like it's not, but it leans
a bit more
into
serious.
it. It's a bit more rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they've got older cast, so there's that. They're not kids. There is a new trailer for it. I will. Oh my! So loud.
You quickly flick between it while it plays.
Link is in the description comments place, not the description. If you want to check it out, I can't show it to you because copyright
YouTube.
and all that, even though it's an advertisement.
Yeah, that kind of blows my mind when they do that. They're like, oh no, they're playing copyrighted material, even though we're advertising their material. Anyway, regardless.
For free.
Yeah.
It literally goes for a minute. I have a look in the private chat, Logan.
Yeah,
so we can talk about it.
I'll check it out. I've probably already seen
now,
it.
Do it now.
I've probably already seen it. Just
no, it's very new.
It's new. What, like 3 seconds ago? When you say it's very new, as in like, did you?
It's a new trailer that's dropped. It's the new PV that's announcing the date.
Of when they're rolling.
It looks promising. Just looking from the trailer and the previous one, the animation looks real nice, and I think it's still Bones, but I think they've got a separate team on it. Oh wait, does it say Toho?
Yeah.
Oh, why did I think it was still...
This is not Bones.
No, it is. Studio Bones film.
Doesn't feel like a Bones. Interesting.
My anime list.
Okay. It's definitely looking
Bones film. It is separate from Bones. It is the same studio that's doing Gachi Rakuda as well, though.
Okay.
They also worked on the Skate the Infinity OVA. They were literally established October 1st, 2024.
Jesus. So they've specifically made this group just to produce these few series.
Well, this and Gachi Rakuda, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers because Gachi Rakuda is still... When's that? I think that's meant to be soon too.
Yeah. And it baffles me how under the radar this is going to be. This is going to hit the English speaking audience like a freaking hammer. People are just going to, what the hell? Gachi Rakuda, yeah.
Yeah.
but everybody knows about vigilantes, but I feel like everybody I talk to doesn't have a clue when I say Gachi Kudo. They're just like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know how many tanks we got of the English translation. I know there's like 9
There's
or 10.
currently 13. No,
Ah,
there's 13.
see, it's 13. So that's blown out compared to when I last looked.
So I'm guessing that Gachira Kuda will be late this year, especially if they've got Vigilantes releasing in April. I would suspect another 6 months from there, so October maybe.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good to see that in freaking motion. I hope they don't screw this up.
Because we've only got. Do we have a trailer? I don't think we do. I think we've only got a PV.
We've just got PV for it. Yeah.
Quick side note: if you like My Hero Academia, you will probably like Vigilantes. It feels, weirdly enough, feels closer to like Hirokoshi's inspiration being like Marvel and DC Vigilantes, Spider-Man type.
It's got a bit more Spider-Man, Batman vibe to it as opposed to because there's no school. There's no school involved.
Especially with is his name literally Knuckle Duster? I think the big tough guy,
the punchy guy,
the stand-in All Might, who doesn't have a quirk. So he's kind of actually, he is.
Yeah, he's essentially Batman.
He's All Might before he inherits All for One and just punches everybody.
Yeah. No, it'll be good.
There will be a lot of it is Knuckle Duster. There will be a lot of cameos as well from main characters from
the
main series. Aizawa, Mountain, like a lot of the teachers and pro heroes more so than anything else.
Yeah,
it's kind of set. Yeah, it's set just as Aizawa is debating becoming a teacher from Mountain Lady's influence.
Mountain Lady?
No, not Mountain Lady.
I was about to say Mountain Lady is relatively new, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Midnight. Towards the end, I'm gonna say there's gonna be some like big tie-ins between the two series, but for the most part, they are relatively separate. If you haven't checked out MHA, you can jump straight into Vigilantes without knowing anything about it.
Yeah, it can definitely run solo, and then even use MHA as an add-on.
As your
it holds up really well. Yeah. It almost does feel like a spin-off.
It's a direct prequel, really.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if there was a bit more overlap in the main series, mainly because I just loved Vigilantes so damn much. But
what can you do? Got some more news for us?
I do, but it's the sad news, the ones of stuff ending.
Oh yeah, the ending stuff. If you tell me something that I like is ending, I'm not going to be happy.
I don't think you know
any
of
leave.
These.
Okay.
To be honest, just leave.
I'm just going to leave.
Hey, deuces.
I'm out.
All right, so let me just check. Yeah, so these are all Jump Plus titles. We've got this one.
This one?
Which isn't showing up yet. This one.
Read us the title.
It is Mikane and the Sea Woman.
Yeah.
Ending with chapter 43. Now, to be fair, I don't know if these ones are cancelled or just finishing up their stories. We've also got...
I opened a chapter of that. I'm just like, the art's pretty, but characters didn't catch me at all. Like the dialogue between the characters just didn't catch me. So I just was like, nah, not my thing.
I didn't realize it was running for so long. I didn't know it was 40.
It's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
It must be, yeah. The next one is Tomatopio. Is it just tomato poo? I think it's just tomato poo.
Tomato poo. Tomato poo. You poo? The lysopene.
Anyway,
what?
That's also ending on chapter 135. So it's had a fair
wow,
whack.
That's a fair run. That's not a cancel, that's just a finish up.
That one, yeah, so that one's finishing. Final volume 10 is going to be released on June 10th. Probably not for Australia though, because we get things a couple of months late. Like 3 months.
Just a couple months.
So no. So the Japanese to English release, we also then that's like a few months there, and then from the release that America gets, we then have to wait another 2 months.
Yeah, because we're tiny.
It's ridiculous.
We're little people.
I've been looking at it at work and getting mad. Bio Abyss, which I keep reading wrong because of Boys Abyss.
Sorry,
plus all the bubbles.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels like a cancellation because it's only up to chapter 18.
Yeah, that's definitely a cancel.
So,
I'm not familiar with. Can't say it's.
No,
looks edgy. Anytime they come to my patch, there's edgy.
It could be another one of those ones where we never got an English translation.
Yeah. Oh well. Is what it is. Next. No, that's it.
I think so.
Good.
It was
good. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If we just leave it there, that's fine.
I don't think I've got anything else. I did start watching / reading. I think I put it away on my shelf already.
Oh, it's in alphabetical order. You'll find it.
I know, but it's not there.
Did you do it by author or by title?
I did it by title.
Ah.
I could do it if I did it by author, though. It would be right at the beginning. So I started reading and watching Dead Demons Destruction.
I really like that cover.
Now, it also folds out.
Isn't that is awesome. That's fantastic. I really like that.
It's a really nice cover. So, Goodnight Punpun.
Okay.
To give you an idea, it looks so cute. It literally starts. It literally starts with a color page of an in-world manga about an alien mushroom, and there's a lot of dark undertones, like almost right off the bat. The weirdest part about it,
hide under the desk during nuclear fallout kind of thing.
Look at the art.
Oh,
that is something that the anime isn't properly able to convey.
Yeah.
The amount, the anime is beautiful. Do not get me wrong, but look at this. Asano is just next level when it comes to his artwork.
That makes me super uncomfortable to look at. I know how much work was involved there, and that's an immense amount of detail for such a fleeting moment,
right?
Like just putting shoes in a shoe rack, you need to put that much detail into that. He does.
So It feels kind of District 9. There is a giant spaceship in the sky over, I think it's in Tokyo. Yeah, no, it is. And very slow invasion. It's like this giant mothership appears over Tokyo and nothing happens for 3 years. And everyone just, the start of the show is very much showing the resilience of humans just getting back to their day-to-day struggles and whatnot.
Yeah, our giant ship overhead, time to go to work.
Yeah, it quickly becomes the norm, which that and the mystery of the mothership, I feel really carry the first 5 episodes. This book is the first 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I would say maybe the first couple of tonks. And then it takes a dramatic shift.
Of course.
And good lordy, it gets dark. And I'm really not sure how it all ties in yet. But I am so invested. But yeah, the start is very slow. It is very much a slow burn of here are all the characters, here's the world. It feels very slice of lifey. Almost
with a little ominous over the top.
Yeah, it never feels safe, but it also really gives me the vibe of like it's closer to Lucky Star than it is Haruhi. And I know that's going back a while for any of our younger viewers.
Yeah, you lost them.
Because that's like, what, 20 years ago now?
No. No, I'm going to say 15.
Both of them?
I'm going to say 15.
That's probably the safer option. But yeah, once you get to like episode 5, 6, like pretty much that first chunk, it just feels like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I just said 15 years thinking that would be 2005.
So the manga came out in 2003.
I was right, but by 10 years, I was just like, dang.
The anime was 2007, so look, it might as well be 20 years.
Yeah, 20. It's 20.
Lucky Star is like the Seinfeld of anime. It's a show about nothing.
You're not wrong. Doesn't really.
Thank you. But it's highly influential as well, especially in Japan. It makes sense as to why the anime feels very snippets of just random shit. It's because it was a 4-panel manga strip beforehand, which makes so much sense. And they've done a very good job of like turning those little strips into a cohesive story of whatever story they actually have.
Yeah, look, anybody who can construct a story in a 4-panel strip is genius. That is one of the most difficult things you can do. Trying to make something cohesive in that smaller space. Even enough to build an anime from.
And Haruhi was 2005 on the dot for its manga.
Okay. But anime
2006.
Yeah. Okay.
God, I am so old.
No, you're not.
No, I know. It's just I have a lot of older friends, and it always brings me great joy to say how old I am in front of them.
Yeah, I know. And I was sitting there going, yeah. Sure.
You little baby.
Oh, want me to go get your nappies for you?
Please. Yeah. Got completely distracted.
Yeah.
I derailed myself.
You did a little.
Dead demons.
Dead.
It's actually not dead demons. I just keep putting
Just
the in that.
demons. So it's the stuttering thing.
Demons. The stutter is on destruction, not
Okay.
not dead.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Also, I have been told, do not watch episode 0 on Crunchyroll before you watch the series. You watch episode 0 afterwards. I don't know why yet, though.
Don't know why it's called 0.
I'm assuming it. Yeah. Well, I just if you're meant to watch it afterwards, why don't they just name it episode 26?
Is it a movie length episode?
No, I don't think so. I also like the blurbs done in like a text message.
That is really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
The whole design of it's really nice. The artwork's beautiful.
I'm just
gonna
obsessed
have
with
to pick those up.
Art. He's so goddamn pretty.
It's very like snapshot, like street photography style snapshot art.
Yeah.
But it encapsulates a level of detail most people aren't willing to go into.
I just literally just opened it up to another random page, and like it's just snapshots of Tokyo.
Yeah. So either he's torturing his poor assistants or he loves to draw backgrounds. Nice. Is that a landmine or a ship?
That's one of the. That's it. One of the UFOs, like the small ones that they send out.
Nice.
Yeah. It definitely feels like one of those series where all the adults are horrible people in some way, shape, or form. Typical Ino Sano. Yeah. Where it looks really cute, but it deals with a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Or and even some borderline things, like one of the main girls has, like, they're all about to graduate and go off to college. To give you the age range of the girls,
college being
main character has hot like going 18, 19.
Okay.
Well, somewhere between 17 to 18. Yeah, uni.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's got the hots for teacher, and teacher's kind of got the hots for her. And I was watching, and I'm like, because of the way that it's drawn, they seem younger. And I'm like, uh-oh, you're gonna get arrested.
No, he's not.
But
she's actually a 300-year-old elf.
The teacher's just basically like sees her out. Like she goes over to his apartment and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna end badly. It doesn't. I'm just jaded, and he sends her on her way and is like, hey, when you graduate, feel free to come and hang out with me more. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Why does that sound familiar? Maybe I have watched some of this.
You might have. I'm a
that
little
scene
behind.
In particular just made me think. Like,
I think it was episode 1.
Maybe I have seen that. Okay, I need to rewatch if I've watched it. Otherwise, I need to watch it. But I feel like I need that book in my hands just so I can have that cover.
Oh no, it came out May 2024. It came out a bit longer than I thought. I thought it was.
So what? We're due for a season 2?
Say that again. I did not process a word of that.
We're due for a season 2?
Yeah. Unless they animated all of it. I'm not 100% sure.
Is it a short series or is it a
Sano usually does shorter series, I think.
You have seen
And
the
we did
Punpun books, right?
It's not that big. They're just chunky volumes.
Yeah, they're like this freaking thick. They're
I think
huge.
There's only 8 of them, isn't there? I think
8 that are like 600 pages long.
Yeah. Oh no, there's 13.
Oh no, even worse. Oh, that is so much. There's so much depression wrapped up in those pages.
I still haven't finished it yet.
Probably best you don't.
I want to. It's so pretty.
Yeah. I should get them. I should have them in my collection anyway, regardless whether I read them or not. It's nice just having things.
Yeah. See, there's only 45 chapters.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound that bad when I say it like that, does it?
Yeah. No, 45 chapters, each chapter being 150 pages.
Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. There's 147 chapters.
Each chapter being 150 pages long.
No. They're about their normal chapter lengths.
What, 20s? No, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. So there is 17 episodes of, well, 18 if you include episode 0, which makes me think that that's why it's all been adapted, because it's an odd number. It is.
Yeah, it is odd, and maybe they did the 0 to wrap things up correctly.
I feel like that's the implication, that it will spoil the mystery for you if you watch episode 0 first.
So maybe 0 is actually a reset. It means going back to 0. I don't know why they use re and 0 and hyphens and colons, and they do so many things.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, it's in the English speaking word, we look at it, we're like, I don't understand why you're doing this.
It's like when we use Japanese stuff as loan words.
No, only silly people do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. English words done in the correct.
Cannot recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's only 12 of these, so I would assume that is everything.
Yeah. So to finish totality, nice. Okay, I'm gonna get stuck into that, and I'm gonna watch that. Sounds fantastic.
It's but I'm also going to order bizarre.
It. You know, I like bizarre. I like weird stuff.
Yeah, I really think so far, from what I've experienced, up your alley.
Either way.
I still haven't read any of the new ones on Jump Plus that we were talking about either.
What do you? Oh man! So you didn't. So you may have noticed my name there. My underneath my head in.
Oh yeah, Soccer. I'm assuming it's the girl.
Well, it's all the soccer everywhere. So I think it's because of this success of Blue Lock, all these publishers have gone, no, we need more soccer all of a sudden. It's like this more soccer. So we've got Embers and we've got I want to say the name of it, Archie Dribbles Through. So they're 2 new series that are happening at the moment, vastly different. Like, they couldn't be so far from each end of the spectrum that it's just insane. So on one side, we've got that real edgy sports supremacy kind of level activity going on with some really cool visuals and crazy action and all that sort of stuff. And then on the other side, with Archie dribbles through, we've got this cutesy rom-com style environment where everybody is drawn in literally the cutest style I have seen for quite some time. It's fun to read.
I'm trying to find it.
So they're both really fun to read. I'm not a soccer fan, like, at all. I don't really care much for the sport. But for some odd reason, these characters are relatively captivating. They've done a good job writing their particular passions. So on this particular series, her connection to soccer is actually her father, and her father has passed away a few years ago. So her connection back to her father is soccer, and they always played together, and he taught her all the tricks and stuff like that. And now she's heading into high school, and one of the boys that goes to school with her saw her actually practicing dribbling, and it's not something. So she's not a part of teams or anything like that. She just plays soccer by herself, and she doesn't. She doesn't play soccer.
Skills.
Yeah, so she doesn't play soccer, so she doesn't know how to play on a team or anything like that. So her idea of soccer is one-on-one. So just getting the ball past the other player, and that's her whole thing. So at the moment, there's two chapters up, so it is like brand spanking new. And it's just about her developing some new relationships with people that have the same interests and stuff like that. But it's just, I hope more people read it. It's actually really cute slice of life stuff. And it's not too, how sometimes they can get like internally detrimental. They've always got an angle or something like that going on. This is not happening. This is actually her love for something that she did with her father that's being conveyed further along as she goes. So it's just honest purity, cute level stuff, no underlining anything. So if you need that step away from that absolute edgy, terrifying, violent stuff that we're so used to in this realm of manga,
a dopamine drop.
Yeah, just switch over to this and give this a little read, just for a bit of a cleanse, to get away from that a bit. Whereas if you need to ramp back up and you need to get that adrenaline going again, then you jump back over to Embers, and that thing is pretty nice at the moment. It's got some great visual work and great action. It's not where I feel like Blue Lock was really trying to push that intensity behind it. Like it was really
ironically, it's
a battle series.
The one-on-one.
Yeah, like, so it's a battle
series. It's all very individualized. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Embers seems to focus more on strategy amongst team, which is good. I like it. There's a lot of cool dynamics going with characters. I've liked the characters that they've rolled out so far in the series as well. They're quite enjoyable. But
I mean, if they continue, I can see it becoming like the next
Haikyuu. It's the next Haikyuu. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got Haikyuu vibes. Just soccer version of Haikyuu and that's sort of downgrading a bit. Like it's detrimental to the idea of this series, because it's got its own angle and it's got its own idea, and its characters are a lot more just as much individuals as
Haikyuu. Where Haikyuu is just like, you boil it down, it is volleyball shonen, and here are all the tropes. Embers so far is doing the same thing but with soccer.
Yeah.
But it at the end of the day, it's still telling its own story and leaning more into the delinquency side of it than
I'm hoping that like it pushes way further into it. So I hope that they extend it to the point where they have a second A team or a higher level B team, which is all just their delinquent players that don't want to blend with the other characters, and they're just menacing and terrible. I would like to see that. I'd like to see that happen. That would be much more entertaining than just a straight up team environment. Because at the moment, it really is lining up into that sort of duo. I've got your back, or you've got my back, sort of scenario between the MCs.
Yeah.
And I just want a bit more dynamics from the other characters. But it's so early on. What, it was just like chapter 4 or 5. So I'm asking a bit
6.
much at the moment. 6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I read that one?
I hope so.
I think I have. On my phone, it'd tell me.
Okay. Yeah. It's been
sure
so enjoyable. So I have been enjoying soccer. Like, what? Why? I don't know. I just am. I'm just enjoying it. So they're the two series that I've been enjoying a bit more recently. Now
I wonder if Embers will do what Haikyuu did for volleyball in Japan.
Or like what Monster Hunter's done for cheesy naan bread.
Yeah, that too.
Well, soccer's huge in Japan.
So easily influenced.
Yeah. Soccer's already huge in Japan, so it's not like it needs a boost.
Well, I mean,
it's a big sport.
I used Haikyuu, but I mean, like, fucking Slam Dunk did the same thing for basketball over there as well.
Yeah.
They, like, that came out, it went nuts, and a lot of young boys, probably even some young girls, I'm not sure, went and signed up to their sports clubs and whatnot. So it has a pretty big effect, these big sports mangas.
They do. They grab a very large audience of people, and they'll see an influx. And this it'll do the same thing. There'll be an influx of people trying to replicate what they do in the sports on the field.
Yeah.
Which always leads to a bunch of fun and silly shenanigans. Is there anything else you've been reading that's been grabbing you a bit?
Well, I just saw that Mad and Centuria both have new chapters that I haven't read yet.
What? You haven't read the new
they only just came out.
That's today.
It
came out today.
Yeah.
No, yesterday.
I didn't see it.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, no, it would have been yesterday.
You read Dandadan, though, didn't you?
I did read Dandadan.
You know what's right next to Dandadan? What's right next to Dandadan?
I didn't see it. No, I read Dandadan I read it on Jump. Not on Manga Plus, that's why.
There's your problem. Jump back over to Manga Plus.
Okay, so I read most of my manga yesterday on the train, which has spotty signal. So I downloaded all the manga that I was going to be reading, which I can't do on Manga Plus. So I was forced to use Jump.
Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Not only we don't have anything against Jump. There's more stuff on Plus to read. Yeah.
Jump's kind of split. They have actually 2 apps I've noticed now.
What?
So Viz has Shonen Jump and Viz Manga. So everything that's not Shonen Jump is on Viz Manga. And then I haven't fully looked into the split, but yeah, they've got
Viz
2 different
Viz
apps.
distribute for all the manga publishers, not just Jump. They do a lot of different stuff.
Well, a lot of, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they've got like the Viz signature series stuff, like Zom 100, and there was something else recently that I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not coming to me. I have, like I said before, though, I have caught up on Kagurabachi.
Yep.
And good lord, oh my god, reading it in chunks is so good.
It's probably a lot better than reading week to week.
Yeah. Well, because there is a lot of text in Kagurabachi. And so
You
kind of being
understand
able to
now,
read
don't
it,
you? You got an idea
to
of
read
what I
it
was
in
talking about.
chunks,
It's like a
you
light
get
novel.
you get you get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
When you get like 5 chapters to read, you get your action, and then you get your walls of text. Um,
With the characters going
but
around the bubbles.
I've been very noticeable, very. I've been paying a lot of attention. I forgot what word I was going to use. Been paying a lot of attention to the placement of the lettering and stuff done in a lot of the manga lately. And Kagurabachi's is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, they probably think
Which
ahead
is
because of the
impressive.
volume. Because of the volume of text that they have to think ahead. And I would say that they do their bubbles before they do their panels. So they probably work their panels so they fit around the bubbles. Which is the reverse of how I work, which makes sense. But yeah, it is a very wall of text series, and it's a really dense series because it's trying to lay out so much lore with each character. It's kind of like, you know how when Naruto introduce a character just before they're going to kill them, it's kind of like that. Where every time they introduce a character, they give you an entire backstory of that character, and you're like, oh, they're going to become a part of the story, but they don't. They either die or they just disappear.
I think that only actually happens once.
Yeah.
I think.
For the rest of the time, they're explaining how magic works.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see when this is animated, whether it's given the same level of appreciation for cinema that Chainsaw Man got.
Yeah, because
that sort of sense of detail, I would be sitting and watching and happily enjoying the conversation. If it's done in a much more rudimentary anime style, I would probably get really bored real quick.
I think the anime still could be a bit off because I can't see information of what.
No, well, it was only just announced recently, and look, they've got a bit more work to go.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, for having Kagurabachi to have a anime announcement already is insane.
Oh yeah, studios would have been clamoring over themselves to get to it because this is the next big action series.
Yeah, I understand that it had the meme that really pushed its popularity to so it could solidify its foothold.
Yeah,
but still,
it's early announcement, and it's. I mean, I feel like that this is going to become a more common thing, where series that are really popular in the first 30 chapters are going to get a studio or an announcement real early because they'll start working on it really early.
Yeah, we're up to 71 chapters. They could easily use that for 2 seasons.
And as much as I give this series shit for its walls of text, it's got insane levels of action. Like absolutely
its presentation as well.
Insanely well. The drip the characters have, the details, it is a beautiful series. I can't deny it. It's a beautiful series to look at. And when I do read it, I'm actually visually just taking in most of the panels instead of actually reading. So I still know what's going on.
Funnily enough, I never do that. It hurts my soul to do that. But I did that with Shoujo Next today. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. It's a series I can still follow just watching the visual side of it. And I honestly believe that you could do this series with not a word of text in it and you would still know what's going on, because the continuity and the dynamics of the artwork is actually so well put together that it's easy to follow. And it's not a complex story. It's an easy story to follow. The walls of text they put in there is because the characters are talking, and it's a complex environment they're in. It's not so much
they're
that
also talking about a lot of
plans
complex
and ideas and all that sort of stuff. It's not just exposition like, oh, this guy did a thing and this is how he did the thing. No, it's not necessarily that. It's sometimes it is.
It's well done exposition. It's exposition very well integrated into dialogue, because
it's baked
lot
into
of
conversation a lot better.
For the last maybe 30 chapters, it's been really digging into the heroes that previously wielded the swords, and they were at war. So that's subjective.
Yeah, everybody's going to have their own opinion, isn't it? So, and because
it starts off
the only information you get is from the characters. So you're right. In a subjective point of view, one character is going to say one thing, another character is going to say another, and you're not actually going to know the story because you have to build it up
with
from their opinion.
All of that, like deconstructing what a hero is, with the subjectiveness of it, because it's all about perspective. They then use all of that around Chihiro's father, the previous blade wielders, to then reflect on Chihiro and what he's doing currently in the story, and him coming to terms with the fact that he is a murderer.
Yeah.
Like, he's killed so many people in this series.
Like he's not a good guy, and he's never stated he's a good guy.
Well, he is.
No.
But that's mainly because
there's a whole lot of murder.
It's the perspective of the main character, right?
Yeah.
And he's only the good guy relative to the ones he's cutting down, which is similar to what's potentially being foreshadowed. But I feel like the previous wielders may have done some real heinous shit.
It was war, so no doubt they did.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time that this subject has been explored. You know, many other series have explored this particular point of view where, you know, those that win write history. So, you know, it's going to be a very similar scenario, I believe, where he will get to the end of his adventure and then go, well, wait a minute, was I the good guy? Was I the bad guy?
Dude, he's already doing that in chapter 71.
Yeah. He's, you know, from whose perspective am I looking? Am I, you know, there's and in the end,
he's already come to that conclusion.
There's no,
yeah, he's not. He will do what he can to save people. That is his modus operandi, but he doesn't see himself as a good person.
No, and I reckon give it 40 chapters from now, and that will be tied up.
Yeah.
That
well, they're fully the dude that lost his arms, he comes back. Yeah. Which I'm glad for, because he was a perfect foil to Chihiro. They're two sides of the same coin. The same coin being absolutely incredible murderers.
Yeah. Where one is stating that they're doing it for honor and the right reasons. Way. Yeah. And the other one's doing it because they enjoy it and they feel like that's what they were born for.
I'll let you decide who's who.
Well, they're both technically born for it because that's what they're doing. So yeah,
they both
it's
seem to have incredible skill with the sword, even though like they're both prodigies essentially.
Yeah.
Chihiro sees one of the hardest draw strike poses that only 2 people have ever mastered, and he sees it once and can almost do it immediately. And this was when he was a child.
And if that's not MC vibe, I don't know what is.
Like, it's not perfected. He still was trying to refine it, so he is considered a master of it as well.
But admittedly,
But he's
it's got
good
one
enough
of the coolest sort of visuals in manga at the moment. Like drop down.
That's what I was gonna say. If I had to boil it down to one word, cinematic, which is weird because it's not. Because it's a book.
Yeah, but it is. It's something that is designed to be portrayed in a visual motion. Yeah. Like most manga are designed to be stay in a book. They get adapted over to anime and it's adapted. Whereas when they transcribe this across, they will be able to take almost panel for panel, very much how Fujimoto does stuff. It'll transcribe across really, really well, and make. I'm hoping with the studio that's got it that it makes it something wonderful.
So to give you a rough idea, Kagurabachi came out September 2023. It's already got an anime announcement. JJK, 2.5 years. Dan to Dan, 3.5 years. Sakamoto, almost 4. This hasn't even hit 1.5 yet. Actually, it's probably
and it will. It'll be interesting to see what happens because it will either be the absolute boom of it or the absolute failure of it, depending on how it performs. All it's going to do is draw more people to read it, but I think it's pretty high on the read list at the moment for a lot of people. I don't know how many reads is it getting at the moment. 173K.
I think it's still pretty up there in popularity, isn't it?
Yeah. Sakamoto, wow, pushing up to 258. And Dan to Dan at 300. So Dan to Dan and Sakamoto were sitting at 150 before the anime. And now
it's very clear.
Yeah, the anime definitely pushes a lot of people to read. Chainsaw Man's still pulling almost 500K. So, the animes do make a massive difference to drawing people in to read, which is insane because if you're on this platform and you are reading this stuff on a regular basis, why wouldn't you be reading other things? Yeah. It's crazy.
So we got Chainsaw Man #1, One Piece, Boruto, Dragon Ball Super, Dan to Dan, Kaiju #8, Spy Family, Sakamoto, Martial King, and Kagurabachi being our top 10 this week.
Yeah. Do you know what my vote is for absolute sleeper hit? That I feel like as soon as it hits anime, it's going to skyrocket. Ultimate Exorcist.
Yeah. I still need to catch up. I'm slowly getting there, but it's
that
fun.
Thing is like a blend of Bleach and Soul Eater and like
it
Fire
definitely
Force,
gives me that like
sort of
2000s vibe.
Yeah, and then it's got artwork that's really I feel like it's influenced by Bleach and One Piece. Yeah, that's
what was that?
Thunder.
Oh,
got a storm brewing.
Honey, there's a storm brewing.
Yeah, and it's got some really, really fun characters. It's got a lot of stuff that is very, very similar in vibe to that early 2000s manga series, and I think it's got enough individuality to make it different to others as well. So I feel like people are sleeping on this, but it's gonna boom. It'll get picked up and it's gonna boom like crazy. I'm calling.
Now, actually, Dribbles Through is pretty up there, and so is Love Is Kill for like a couple of new titles.
Yeah, Love Is Kill is. So I know I don't like gag manga, and I'm always telling people I hate. I'm just not a big fan of. But I feel like it's really entertaining. So Lovers Overkill is just so stupid. It's just so ridiculously stupid, and the characters are just so over the top. But it's gag in the sense that it's not ripping on other series. It's completely independent of itself, and it's just making fun of itself in most occasions. So it's not like it's referencing anything. And if it is, I'm not catching it. It's still funny regardless. So I think this is probably going to be a pretty big hit, as most comedy series are. And pulling almost 20K on the third release, pretty good. You know, they're doing pretty good. Man, I wish 20K people would read my comic.
No, you be careful out there, Nerdburger.
Out where? I'm in my backyard.
Yeah. Logan sets up a tent and Wi-Fi's.
Yeah. That's why from the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
That's why you get your tent so close to the fence.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you can hear the dogs barking and the thunder. It's because I've got no external protection here. I live in a tent.
A little bit out of context, I was just flicking through Centuria, and for those still on the fence, we get some really fun little scenes like this where one of the side characters just pops in and is like, "What's going on, guys?" And then
completely decimates,
literally like in a second, and he just falls to pieces.
Oh, nice.
Man, this series is something special.
It's really interesting. Like it feels like it's not following any rules at all. It's just doing what it wants when it wants.
It really does feel like a really perfect blend of Berserk and Vinland Saga.
And why is that character a complete reference to Hunter x Hunter? Like the clown from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Character design wise, like he probably has nothing honestly, to do with it. He just looks like him.
I didn't even honestly notice him. Anyway, that's enough about me gushing about Centuria. Read it. I want it to survive. It needs to live.
I feel like it does too, and I feel like the mangaka needs to take a break.
Yeah, it's still going on. It's in top 15. Like Mad slipped down to 21. Maybe I should be more concerned about Mad.
Really? Like it's pulling 65K reads.
Yeah.
And it just dropped yesterday.
Oh, so I'm looking overall, not just the latest chapter. Yeah. Centuria is sitting on nearly 80,000, and they were getting concerned about that. Another recommendation for Centuria. So it's two Fujimoto alumni. It was, I think, Hell's Paradise and Danielle. I think.
What's that?
Recommending Centuria.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so there's been 2 months.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of people really pushing for it, which is good. that's interesting to see them banding together to keep things going.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's nice.
Me too. It is cute. The other really cool thing about Manga Plus over the Shonen Jump app, again, no shade, but they have a lot of interviews and
Yes.
yeah, that's probably the best. They've got a few different style of interviews, but get to get inside the mangaka's heads a little bit. They also have the author's notes available on there as well, from each weekly.
Yeah, I love
Jump
those.
magazine.
They're always a lot of fun, those things.
Some of them are unhinged.
Yeah.
It's a nice little insight as well, because some of the mangaka are very candid about their struggles and what they're going through at that particular moment.
And then others are like, "Oh, the udon from the local store was really good this week."
Because they gotta put something in. So Trojan X, I did the Logan checkup where we're up to.
Yeah, but dude, weren't you like chapters behind?
I'm so many chapters behind.
That is so many pages. Like hundreds. I would say you are hundreds of pages behind.
Shut up. But yeah, I flicked through the current chapter, and undoubtedly I've missed a lot of cool shit. Some other really important lore.
Dude, you are literally coming in at the end of all the excitement.
But I'm still following the story because not really much has happened from what I can tell. They're still doing the war. But it admittedly feels like it's wrapping up from what I was looking at. No, not the series, but that little
war.
battle.
Yeah, that little arc that was taking place.
Because the next arc, I'm assuming, is the lead up into the apocalypse. The Trojan X that is meant to
destroy the world.
The world. Where we had the predecessor of Trojan X.
Oh, wait a minute.
Handing off.
Was Trojan X meant to save the world? Because there is a cataclysm. So there's a cataclysm coming, but I don't know whether the Trojan X is meant to either save it
or end
it. Yeah, it doesn't actually state.
They've kept that very obscure.
Yeah,
throughout the whole series.
Yeah,
I feel like our two MCs are going to be both Trojan X, and one of them will destroy and one of them will save.
You say two?
3? Oh, so Ellie as well?
I think she's in the running for it as well. Because, and I say this because she has the ability to consume other people's powers, that she could also become a beast user very quickly.
Yeah, right.
And she could steal his power ASAP and become the Trojan X. So,
what if like one of them starts losing control, she steals it to save him, and then becomes the one that's destroys the world, and then they both have to team up to defeat Ellie, which they both love in their own way.
Yeah, that sounds exactly how it's going to turn out. Because that sounds edgy enough to be how that turns out. Yeah,
because you've got Tokyo, who loves her as like a little sister, best friend type thing.
Yeah,
and I forget his name. Metal Boy, who actually loves her and wants to pants her. I kind of hope. They've been fighting, so there's probably not really been much room for romance.
Unfortunately, no. And they've also been split up from each other.
Yeah. Well, Tokyo had the potential lead in to the romance with Hyena Girl.
Yeah, that got put on the back burner.
Yeah. really enjoying what I've read, and I know that I'm going to continue enjoying it. It's just, yeah. Also, I think it's got
a
an
beast.
anime rumors as well.
If they do that, they better treat it better than they did Tokyo Ghoul. Anybody who takes on this series better be in for the long haul, because it's a long book. It's a big story so far.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of scenery. There's a lot of moods in it as well. So it's not the same mood all the way through. They're going to have to be very careful of color selection and camera work and animation quality. Oh, man, they're going to screw this up so quick. I'm sorry. I kind of hope they don't make an anime of it.
So no, it's been confirmed, but there's
No.
still no date.
Yeah.
And Ishida's very excited for them to tackle it. Hopefully, though, it's better. Well, I mean, season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul isn't bad. It's relatively faithful. Season 2 and 4? Because RE, when they did that, season 1 of that is also relatively close. It's just, the even number of seasons. Like, season 2 is anime only. It's insane.
They ran out of book.
But they didn't, I don't think.
Who knows? Who knows why they did what they did? They just chose to.
I wish they didn't.
But I like Trojan X has been an absolute winner for me all the way through. It's been a fantastic series. I actually,
and Ishida is just gorgeous illustrator.
The dude knows when to absolutely not waste time and scribble the shit out of stuff. And then other times he knows when to put the absolute detail into something. It's just got that balance. It's got that really good balance. And as soon as things start sketching, he starts getting really sketchy with his artwork. Things are about to ramp up and get really fast paced and action based, as opposed to slowing down and becoming smoother. It's interesting art style. I like it.
Oh, all right. So I don't know if Manga Plus has updated their features for searching and stuff, or I've just never used it on PC before. 3 cool things. They've separated the manga into ongoing, completed, and one-shots. You can then filter by label. So, unfortunately, all of them are in Japanese, so I can't read them. But there are 10 different labels on Jump Plus, which is why we get so much.
Just put Google Translate on your phone and just bring it up. Yeah. There you go. I see what you mean.
They're the logos. So
so
even if I hovered over it, it wouldn't. So, but in saying that, these are all the one-shots that they have on Manga Plus. There is a lot.
I've been trying to keep up with stuff, but I got lost.
And they've got like a lot of the ones from the Manga Creators Portal as well in here. A couple of which have gone on to become full series. But just to focus in on the new ones, because I've done this via most recent. These are our new. I don't remember which ones we did when. Actually, did we talk about this one? That would have been a smarter way to do it, Bradley. If I had have thought.
You know what? We should do that. We'll save this for next time. We'll go through a bunch of one shots, and
we can do that.
And we'll talk about them next week, because the more recent stuff I haven't read at the moment. Sometimes it takes me a week or two to actually get back to them and and read through.
Yeah, okay, no. So I think it's from Anti-Ghost onwards. So they've dropped 4 new one-shots in the past week.
Yeah.
So we've got
so much.
An Instant Smile for You. Anti-Ghost.
This is what we wanted. This is what we were all screaming for, is that we weren't getting the one-shots in English. And it sucked because we couldn't keep up with the newest and latest stuff that was dropping, and whether we need to follow someone or not. You know, it's really good to be able to get our hands on this stuff and actually give it a read and find some brand new talents that we can follow.
All right. So from the previous, our last episode, there's actually been more than what I. only one more. So Laws of the Universe. The other one. So from Laws of the Universe, there's literally been five new one-shots this week.
And it seems to have been sort of close to that for the past 6 months.
Yeah,
I think they've been doing the one-shots for
through the week.
Yeah, so there is quite a lot to go through. Some are even in color because they're coming from the Manga Plus creators portal and stuff like that. So,
and this one is probably the one that stands out to me the most.
I wonder why.
Smile Restaurant of Hell.
Looks interesting.
So yeah, I will quickly post a link to the one-shots if you want to read along with them before we pop in next week. But yeah, something little fun to check out. Do we want to quickly talk about Chainsaw Man?
Yes, we can. Sorry, I had to reevaluate what happened this week.
Well,
squashing
not
ants.
Much.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's like squashing ants.
So it was a direct continuation, focusing on the new character that we got introduced to last week. We still don't know who she is. I don't think we got a name either. Did we?
No, I got completely blindsided by this because I feel like I should know the character, but I'm pretty sure I don't.
Well, they've got the double ring, so she's either Control or Death.
Yeah. And is she newly Control now that Markham has been killed?
But yeah.
This would be cool if she's actually a recontracted devil after Markham had been killed.
I have seen people theorizing that it's also the Blood Devil. So Power.
Yeah.
Potentially coming back.
Like the first time I saw her, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is this meant to be? I'm like, I hope not. This is not the character I want to see coming back. The Blood Devil. I don't think she should come back at all. Power should be left.
It's not going to be Power regardless. The Blood Devil might come back,
my point is that, you know, she's done.
But we do have to have we do have that narrative thread of Power pleading Denji to befriend her when she comes back. I need that fulfilled.
Man, it'll be like the last 3 pages of the series if they're going to do something like that.
Unless they somehow, unless he still does have Power's personality residing inside of him residually.
Yeah.
There's no way for her to come back the way she was.
No. No, not at all. The personality's gone. The person known as Power is done.
Yeah.
Which is really crap.
I'm still sipping that copium.
Yeah.
Especially when they did the Power and Aki reveal in Aging's World, and I was just like, "Are you back?
Bring them back! I miss them so much.
My friends." Yeah, no. I just had a look at the previous chapter, and in this one, we still don't even know her name.
No.
But she is unhinged ball of anxiety.
Yeah, she kind of scares me. The level of uncomfortable sort of persona that she has when she walks into a room. It's just the whole
just like
crying
really
and
like
constant looking around and fidgeting, and I'm like, you look familiar.
So now just before we go into any further spoiler territory, I'm going to wrap up the show and then we'll briefly talk about what I think's happening towards the end. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things to help us out. Share the video, leave us a like. It helps the algorithm gods. All praise be to Mother YouTube. Please do all the things to help. All right. Oh, also, we'll be back every week, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, Wednesdays. Thursdays for some countries, Tuesdays for others.
Now it is your time to leave. I've given you enough warning, or at least mute. Just Actually, don't leave. Just minimize the video.
Mute the video. Do something.
Leave us running.
Don't turn us off.
I need the view time. But I'm putting up spoilers now. So there's two different spots in this chapter where she could be the control devil. From this little bit here, it seems like she controls him. But then in this bit a few pages later, it feels like he's like really pushing the Death Devil angle. But I'm leaning that because of how unhinged and deranged she seems, I feel like she could be like Chunio being out real big here, like delusions of grandeur, and she doesn't have any powers.
Well, there is that possibility as well.
Like this could be a red herring.
At the same time, she's got the rings.
She does have the rings. Then we get the follow up to the plot thread from like 50 chapters ago, where we get the fake Saw Man return, and he's gross.
He's super veiny.
I both love and don't like his design. He looks disgusting.
I had to double take at this guy a little bit because of the way he's got a head on top of his head.
He's wearing a fleshy cape as well.
It looks like someone's unwrapped a testicle and he's just wrapped it.
Like but the head on top of his head is fused to his head. It's not like it's a hat or anything. But that's where the chainsaw's coming out, not directly from his forehead. And he doesn't have arms. Oh no, he kind of does actually.
He's got arms.
Yeah. But even then, it looks different to how it works when Denji uses his chainsaw arms.
Yeah, I feel like there's something else going on here. Like he's a variant of the Chainsaw Man.
But he is also just as stupid as Denji.
It's more stupid.
He seems more stupid somehow.
His absolute obsession, like he's like the freaking Red Ranger with Denji's power.
Yeah, he definitely has like that real tongue-in-cheek superhero vibe. Like with the monologue of him doing like, listen up, somebody's calling for help with a heart that burns to right wrongs. I've come from the depths of hell, engine revved and ready.
Dude should have a pompadour.
Defeating devils with devil powers, delivering justice with power of justice. That's right, my name is Chainsaw Man. But honestly, the line delivering justice with the power of justice fucking got me. I was in stitches. He's so dumb.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And I have a feeling that she might be the death devil and he's about to die. God, I hope that she's just like, you're dead. And he just
immediately wraps up that plot point. Like Fujimoto was trying something and it didn't pan out. And
yeah, this is something I was thinking about, but I don't want to do it anymore. Boom. He's gonna knock that out. Just so nobody asks him the question later on. Yeah. Oh, what happened to that thing?
You kind of just glossed over it.
Yeah, you started doing a thing back there, and then you just decided not to do the thing, and yeah, it's who knows? It could be something, could be nothing. Yes, we'll find out next week.
Yeah, that about wraps us up. I don't know what's happening with Chainsaw Man still.
Again, yay, back to normal.
Just enjoy the song.
Yes.
For those of you, the real ones that stuck with us, thank you. I still require you to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But you get bonus points, which can be redeemed at a later point. Spoiler, I'm talking out my ass. But catch us again next week at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, every Wednesday, forever, a million years. Brad and Logan.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.